No, I'm terrified.
Are you?
Yeah, it just feels like different. Oh,
Okay, let's just skip
the awkward part.
the awkward part.
It's like we're on a first date. Let's just
Yeah.
bypass the first 5 minutes of
it's
awkwardness.
not for me. So I love podcasts, but I'm not a motivational podcast girly. I just like podcasts when two friends or more are sitting down, chatting about literally nothing important.
Yeah.
Like what we said, life uncut.
Just where two people sit down and talk about anything that they, like what a normal group of friends or a normal like couple of people would sit down and chat about on the couch.
Yeah.
But just recording it.
And even in vlogs, I just love when friends are sitting down, hanging
Me
out,
too.
chatting.
It's almost like when people talk like the camera's not there or talk when the microphone isn't there.
And I also feel like, if you follow me on TikTok, I feel like I'm very different on TikTok.
I feel like you are.
I don't know why, but it feels like a platform where I get to just like literally say whatever.
I think your true self comes out on TikTok.
Whereas YouTube, because I think I've been on it for so long, I feel like I have to maintain this like the same image I've had for so long.
Yeah.
And people are always like, oh, I love TikTok, Georgia. Like, I wish we saw her on YouTube. And I didn't feel like I could just like start talking about random things in my vlogs without it being kind of strange.
Yeah.
So I thought that this little setting, this little setup and vibe
Yeah.
could be fun.
We've just spent the last half an hour trying to set up these mics and connect it to everything. So
It was a mission.
it was. If it doesn't work,
I'm going to cry.
yeah.
Yeah. So we've got some kombucha.
Cheers.
Cheers. You didn't look me in the eye. We've had sex for 7 years.
I thought that was just
Neither
alcohol.
of us need that. I don't actually know if it's just alcohol. Cheers. Thank you. So yeah.
So welcome to the first
episode.
Are we calling it an
I
episode?
guess.
I haven't explained, but we kind of want to create a bit of a series on
Yeah.
YouTube where we sit down Wednesday. Anyway, yeah, we want to create just a bit of a series where we can sit down and literally chat about anything that's happening that week, any topic that we feel passionate about, doing it on both your channel and my channel.
Yes.
Obviously, the very first episode is being blessed on Georgia's channel.
Stress.
Because it was her idea.
I was like, I had this idea and I'm just not sure. Literally waiting for Soph to be like, I'll do it with you.
Yeah. I kind of want to start this soon. I'm like, cool, I'll
like
do it.
sitting down chatting, but like I'm just not sure. Like I wouldn't do it on my own. Thoughts?
One of my favourite things that we do is we go, no. And it's just like whenever we're like, no,
Like,
we
I won't
shouldn't.
do it unless you think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then we will.
Yeah. Or it's like, no, we shouldn't.
I'm dead.
Anyway.
I feel like we have some really great chats.
I feel like we do too. What was it, a week or two ago, we were sitting at the beach, eating dinner, sunset.
yeah.
And we were just having the best chats. And I literally like walked away from that being like, wow, that was such a great chat.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like as friends, we're so open. The communication's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's top tier.
It is. And you need that.
Yeah, you do.
In your 20s, if friends aren't communicating.
It's a no from me.
Yeah. And I just feel like, I don't know. I just am really excited.
You know what I realised recently?
What?
That I have a lot of friends that are 30. When I say a lot, I mean 2.
Yeah.
Well, 3. One's my brother. He's a friend. Sure.
friend.
And then I have a friend Gemma and Lang, and they're both 30. And being a girl in my 20s, every time I like go through anything, my older friends are always like, oh, been there, done this. This is what's helped me.
And
I'm
it
like,
is
wow.
life-changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Truly. And it's like, it's so different when you're telling someone something and it's like you don't even want advice really on it. But if someone's been like, oh yeah, that happened to me a few years ago, like this is how I felt, I remember feeling that, like blah blah blah, you're like, oh
Yeah.
like I don't know, it just makes you feel like so reassured. For example, the other day I wanted this house that I was going to apply for. Well, I kind of half did. I won't go into the whole story. Basically, we didn't get the house and I was pretty devastated. I was just like, this was my dream house. Like I was just like, yeah. Anyway, I was just having a moment and like I tried to talk to Sam about it, but he wasn't really like that great at like making me feel better because it was kind of his fault. Anyway,
He literally has the zoomies right now.
like he's been chilling all day.
He's gonna knock the tripod over. I can see it happening.
It was one of those situations where Lang, being almost 30, came in and was like, yeah, like that happened, this not exact situation, but very similar situation happened to her. Told me like basically what happened, how she felt, how it kind of all worked out. Instantly made me feel 100% better. And it was just like hearing someone else's experience who's been through it. It just helped so much. And she didn't have to like give me advice. She didn't have to sound like inspirational. It was just literally being like, so just like, yeah, happened to me. This is what happened. Now this happened. Like, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, it definitely does.
Yeah.
But also, my other thing on that is that sometimes I hear things that older people go through and I'm like, we're not past this yet.
Yeah.
Like, you're still having friendship drama
Oh.
at the ripe old age of 30.
No, literally.
Like,
Even like
it doesn't get better.
No. Cool. That is so reassuring. Even like
refreshing.
refreshing. Even like to a certain extent, you're like, oh, high school friendship drama. Then like a few years out of high school, and now we're like nearing our mid-20s. Terrifying. And things are still happening, and you're just like, cool.
Okay, so I saw a TikTok about this the other day.
Okay, tell me about it.
And it was saying that the transition between high school friendships and adult friendships are hard because in high school,
I saw this exact same one.
Experiencing everything together. Mm-hmm. And then as an adult, you're then at uni, different degrees, different jobs, not seeing each other every single day. You're then having to tell them, you're then having to update them and tell them on what's happening. Winston! And it's like, if people can't communicate at literally the age of like 18, then like you could just stop being friends.
Exactly.
Like, I know so many friends who I've just like stopped being friends with, not intentionally. It's
not
just
for
like,
any specific reason.
I just didn't even realize the last time I spoke to them was going to be the last time I spoke to them.
Yeah.
Just because neither of us kept each other in the loop.
Exactly. But I always think like there's been a few friendships in school that we were great friends. And yeah, like you said, like you just, it's always like, it's like when you're telling a story and it's like, oh, like you're explaining it and it's kind of like oh, you had to be there.
Yeah.
And like it's always going to be like that from now on because you're not experiencing things together.
Yeah.
And like so many friendships drift just like automatically because you're like, oh, we don't relate. We don't.
Yeah.
I'm now telling you about things. You're telling me about things. I'm trying to be supportive, but like, I don't know. There's just like this like barrier that almost just comes up.
Yeah. And like,
straight away.
For everyone. Like you can like have friends with different
100%
jobs and interests and opinions.
Exactly. But it's also to a certain extent of like, to a certain extent, I think that makes sense at all. It's also like we have friends for so many different things.
Yeah.
Like I have friends from school that I'm still friends with that like I wouldn't go to the same things that I go to you two for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I still love catching up with them and I love having a great old chat with them. But then we might not talk for 6 months.
Yeah.
But if I don't talk to you for more than a day, I'm like, interesting.
I'm actually going to sell my dog if anyone
linked below.
1-year-old dachshund. I'm kidding.
We love him.
I really just had a thought and I've lost it.
Sorry.
No, I saw. So wait,
my hand is getting freezing.
Mine too, and the condensation's pissing me off.
Yeah. Is everything going on?
No, so Soph and I synced, and we both got our period this week.
Yeah,
which is like kind of fun. That
it
we
is.
Synced. Also, kind of awful. Because we're both overthinking, we're both crying every day.
Yeah.
We can't really support one another.
No.
Because we're just trying to keep ourselves afloat.
Yeah. It's almost like we're both being like shitty friends to each other.
Literally.
But not on purpose, but like you just kind of, I feel, when you get your period, you just take a step back. You have to go inwards. And when we're both going inwards, but then you're also questioning everything everyone else does around you. I'm like,
exactly.
She's gone inwards, I'm going inwards. Like,
it's just been like a big week.
It's been
a
a
lot
week.
of emotions. And on my first day of my period, I cancelled all my plans, sat on the couch all day.
Yeah.
Had like 5 meltdowns. And I know it was fully hormonal because now like 3 days later, I'm like, that was so dramatic of you. But I was really just like, I hate my job. I hate my career. What am I going to do for the rest of my life? I'm going to be alone forever. And then on this TikTok, this girl posted like a bunch of quotes that had like helped her recently.
Okay.
I'm going to read one of them.
Please do.
To do with being in your early 20s. I feel like I'm reading out loud in school. I'm getting nervous.
Next, we have Georgia.
Were you the kid who like
Yes.
read ahead and read all the lines memorized in your head and then it got to you and then you were like, I aced that?
Yeah, but it wasn't so bad when like you miscalculated and you're like, okay, this is my line, and then you get there and you're like, oh no, the person before me said that.
School's so scary.
No, it really was.
If I stuff up, don't judge me.
I will be. Kidding.
Your early 20s are about being obsessed with kindness and seasonal fruits and recreating comfort foods that you ate as a child and learning how to love and crying because you have no choice but to live the life before you and finding God on the bus back to the grocery store.
Wait, I don't get it. Why do we find God on the bus?
Let's focus less on finding God back to the bus.
Okay.
But it's just like, life is so complex.
Yeah.
Like, on the bus to the grocery store.
Yes.
Recreating your favourite food and having an existential crisis. Like, you have to live the rest of your life.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I am such an emotional person. I have so many emotions.
Yes.
I feel like you do too, but you hide them with humour
thank you.
That's not a compliment.
No, I do. I really do.
I will literally just be playing fetch with Winston, and all of a sudden I'm like, what happens when I die?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like you're very much like that. Like, I feel like I have thoughts like that, but I feel like your thoughts that get, like, heavy quick.
And then I'm like, it's fine. And like push them down. This is why I need to go to therapy, first of all. I'm always stuck between, it's not that deep. And being like, well, actually, life is kind of so complex and so deep.
I know. I really do. And I'm also the type of person, like, I watch one movie or one TikTok, I'm like, I will be changing my entire life to, thank you. I will be changing my entire life to now, like, go along with this movie.
That.
Yeah, like, I watch Mamma Mia too. And I'm like, I will become Donna and travel the world. And then I watch, like, a family movie. I'm like, all I want in life is to settle down and have kids. Like, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, no, like, just live. But then I was like, but like, do I need to have a plan? Like,
no, literally.
Do you know what I mean?
And I actually saw a TikTok. Count how many times I say TikTok. I saw this TikTok of this girl who I think was in her like 20s or 30s and was like, this TikTok is for people in their 40s or above who have no kids by choice.
Right.
She's like, I know that right now I do not want to have kids and I can't see myself having kids, but I don't want to get to 40 and regret it. So is there anyone out there who like can tell me? Isn't
there like a like an acronym or something for people who double income with?
Oh yeah, double income, no kids.
Yeah.
DINK.
Yeah.
Dink.
Yeah, Dink.
Is it?
It's Dink. Yeah. I learned that on TikTok. I love TikTok.
I'm like, isn't that so interesting? Because like, how could you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Even like, I want to travel the world, but like, should I settle down and have kids? When is too late? Like,
no, it's a lot. Life is actually crazy, and sometimes I'm like that. Sometimes I'm like, blissful, like unawareness, ignorance, blah blah blah. And sometimes I'm like, no, like I can't be ignorant.
No, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, there's some things you can't be ignorant about, and then there's some things like,
I'm like, it's better not. Like, it's better, like, we have such a short time on this earth. Like, is it better to just, like, live your life, have fun?
Yeah.
But then also, like, again, to 50 and be like, I wish I did that.
No,
like,
literally, it's so stressful. And, like, why are we 24, 23 thinking about this? Do you know what I mean?
And does it ever stop?
I don't think it does.
I remember.
Or maybe you just get more sure of yourself the older you get.
Do you know what's interesting? And this obviously isn't everyone's experience, but I still remember so vividly in my mind, Sam's mum, on her 50th birthday, we all went out for dinner and she was like, I finally feel like at the age of 50, I don't care about what people think of me anymore. And I was kind of like,
no.
I remember being, I can't remember how old I was, like maybe 20 or something. And I was like, I've got 30 years until I don't care.
No, because we need that now.
No. But don't you find as well, like some weeks I'm like, I literally could not care less what people think of me. And then other times I'm like, I care so much to the point where like, I'll drive myself insane.
Yeah.
Or it's like that saying that's like, I don't care what you think about me.
as much as you think everything about it.
As much as you think I'm literally perfect.
I just saw another quote I want to read to you.
Okay. I love quotes.
Literally, I saved them all.
Wow.
On this TikTok. Octopus didn't know if God was real, or if there was a Big Bang, or if he was just a fragment of someone's imagination. But he had today, and he had flowers. Look at the photo of Mr. Octopus. Like,
wow.
He had today.
Yeah.
And he had flowers.
Yeah.
And I did sob when I read that.
And where your emotions come out.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of trauma on that. We'll touch on that.
that's for another
episode.
Like, we don't know what's happening in 20 years, in 100 years.
We don't know what's happening.
So that's
do
me.
it, will.
No, but like we do not know anything. We actually don't.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day.
And like everyone thinks they know the right thing.
Exactly. And that's why I never want to think that I know, like even with what I believe in life, I'm like, I'm never like fully set on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look, this is
Could
what
be wrong.
Yeah.
We'll
and I'm so okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you can't, like, you've just got to live your life because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the end of my TED talk. So me being like, you being like,
I hate motivation. Oh my God.
So basically, at the end of the day, no, but do you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like
I know.
We just question everything, and we are constantly.
It's like we're wasting more time.
Yes.
Being stressed about the big existential things.
Yes.
When like we're not living happy lives day to day.
And that's the other thing. I'm just like, you know, that TikTok going around, or that TikTok trend that was like, money will always come back to you, but you'll never be 20 in Paris again.
Yeah.
And then I remember people stitching that, like some like financial advisors or whatever, or like financial people being like, yeah, but like also save because like you need money. And then someone else stitched that, being like the person,
stitch on stitch.
And being like, Yeah, but like you'll be 40 and you can have money, or you might have the exact same amount of money, but you'll have traveled so much. And like, I don't know, I'm just in that stage of my life where I'm like, I will say yes to basically like any opportunity, anything. Because I'm just like, I just want to look back at my life and be like, wow.
Yeah.
Like that was great. Or like that sucked. Like that was so bad. But
Literally. And also
I
like...
don't know. Wow. Insightful.
That's all I had to say. No, because I feel like we're at the age, maybe, I don't know if it's the whole of your 20s, but like, even you were saying recently, I actually feel like I need to start like really thinking about how I'm spending my money because life's going to get expensive over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, oh my God, I just had a coach saying right. Because like right now, if I wanted to, I could go through the stress and hassle of trying to buy a house.
Well, you did like 2 years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to a mortgage broker and then I got really overwhelmed. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life at all.
Yeah.
And obviously you can buy a house, have it as an investment, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, if I'm 40 and I don't own a house yet, but I know that my last 30 years at least has been like so filled with joy and I truly feel like happy in myself, like I don't care. And also like, are people buying houses like because they want to or because they think it's the right thing or because they want like, because that's the society's like,
you have success.
Yeah.
You have success.
it's like getting married
You've
and
succeeded.
like it's under the same
Yeah,
like,
like
if you do this, you are then deemed
Successful.
successful.
And
It's
doing
like
a
if you
good
don't
job.
have that, you're happy.
Yeah.
Like obviously it doesn't matter what other people think of you.
No.
And I have no point saying any of this.
No, but like when you think about being 40 and say you don't have a house, does that make you sad?
No.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. But even like people having kids around me and I'm like,
Yeah.
but I'm also like, I literally can't see myself having kids.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I'm 24. Like, does every 24-year-old see themselves having kids?
Yeah.
And like,
No. If we start this, we'll never stop.
it's just like so much and I don't think it ever ends.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see in life if it does ever end.
Yeah.
And like, say you do have kids. I'm not saying like you specifically, but like people in general. Like, do you start like becoming so much more sure in yourself because you like kind of need to be
a good example?
Yeah, or like do you still just question everything and literally fake it till you make it? Like, I think
everyone fakes it till they
I think they do too. And it's so interesting because it's like you see people, especially on social media, because I feel like that's just like the easiest way to see into people's lives. And you're like, oh my gosh, like they have it all. They are so happy. But then there's been multiple times where I've met people in social media that from the outside look like they are literally like the most successful. And I've been like, you're literally a normal person. Like you have stresses, you like get anxious about certain things, you worry about certain things. And I was like, wow, like everyone is like that. Like I'm sure if you met Justin Bieber, it's like, who's the famous?
Random.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like Blake Lively. I'm like, in my mind, she has no stresses.
Yeah.
But like
But
her
100%
at home,
does.
and it's even like, I always think, even like the Queen. Maybe not.
It's a bit too soon.
It is too soon. Okay, who's someone who's like seems perfect? Who's like,
I don't know why I always think this, but I always think Beyonce.
okay, Beyonce. There has been times in her life where she's like literally been in the toilet having like explosive diarrhea.
No, I think this all the time.
Right?
You're in like a public restroom and like
Yes.
it's so quiet, but you're about to make some noise. And I literally always, I don't know where I heard this, but I always said, Beyonce's been here.
Yeah.
She's done this.
No, but everyone has, and it just makes you think like, wow, as much as people don't seem
Mama.
real. Shut up. It's like, oh, like let's not notice that.
Sorry.
Wow, we are. But like you always think like, oh, like when like there's some people who aren't real humans, like they are perfect. But like realistically,
Yeah.
we've all had explosive diarrhea.
Yeah.
We've all had probably pretty bad period pain and cried ourselves to sleep. I just think as soon as we realise that everyone is literally faking it, it's just
And I'm like, did
fascinates
people
me.
feel like this before social media?
I know, I always think that. Because back when you could like look at a magazine or
Yeah.
watch a movie, you're not actually seeing someone's life.
No.
Or like,
So you can just like leave that to your imagination.
yeah.
Whereas now we literally see people wake up. And you think you see everything.
Oh my gosh, you really
But you
don't.
best believe you don't.
No. I'm like, I feel like I'm pretty open online, but still, there's still probably a good like half of what goes on in my life that
Yeah.
no one would ever know.
Which we will be unpacking in this series.
Which I'm be sharing everything, actually, so you will know.
Stop it.
Well, how did we get to this point?
I'm not sure.
We were talking about how we were synced.
Yeah, very emotional, big week.
Yeah.
Lots of deep thoughts.
What would you say your most deep thought was this week?
About my career.
Let's unpack that.
Let's unpack that. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then I filmed a really fun video and I feel different now.
And now I do know exactly what I'm doing.
I think I've just been doing the same thing for not a really, really long time, but just enough for me to be like, I feel really stagnant, but also change is scary. And I know how to do what I've been doing and I don't want to try something new and fail at it. But then I tried something new and it worked out really well.
Yeah,
And I
really
feel like
well.
that has ignited more ideas and made me more like fun and excited. But I really struggle with being my own boss.
Yeah.
Which, like, I feel like it's a huge thing to be like, how to be an entrepreneur. I'm like, I don't want it. I want someone to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm so lost. And, like, also at 24, should I have all of this say all on my own? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like this much control over what you do.
Because sometimes I'm like, wow, the freedom is so fun. Like, I get to do whatever I want. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I literally just want to sit back and make someone else make the decision
Someone
for me.
tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just like being single, that's the case. Working for myself, that's the case.
Yeah.
Being a single dog parent, that's the case.
Yeah.
And sometimes
like you
I'm
have
just
no
like,
one in your ear being like this.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
It's a lot.
it's too much sometimes.
But we're feeling
Anyway.
better now.
Yeah.
We're on day 4 of period.
Yeah, almost gone.
Nice.
Do you have any deep thoughts this week? But I won't tell you about them because I don't open up.
But I'll just make a joke out of them. So, no,
Would you say you're an outward processor?
no.
Oh.
Wait, what do you mean, like chatting?
Like, I can't process something in my head. I have to talk to someone about it
Okay.
for me to process how I'm feeling.
Ooh.
But then sometimes I get stuck and I can't physically tell someone. And then
So what do you do with
all
that?
alone. And then I just cry and feel numb and then it eventually goes away. I shove it down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't actually know because sometimes like talking about it really helps.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe I do outward process to a certain extent.
I feel like you're very independent when it comes to your feelings.
Yeah. Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think it is? Is being an only child.
Yeah.
I was just always alone.
Wow. Cool. Just
So
go deep
happy.
a little.
No, but like
No, tell me about it.
just in when have you ever had a dream that I playing like coming home
Oh, God.
no, like I'm really I'm not trying to
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't.
You're like, no, but I don't know, maybe I just had to process like when I would like have arguments with my parents or
Oh my God, yeah.
I had to just process them alone. So, and even like this is sounding so sad, like I'm really happy.
Yeah.
But I think just like that taught me how to process my emotions. Like
Yeah, that
whenever
makes sense.
I got really upset, I would go to my room and then I'd come back out once I dealt with it. And even sometimes when like Sam and I are arguing, he's the type of person who's like, let's resolve this now. Like I'm not walking away.
And you're like, bye-bye.
And I'm like, I'm going to go shut myself in my room
See ya.
until I can actually form straight thoughts so I can not be rude when I talk back to you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
okay.
mean? And I feel like that's how I am in life. Like if I'm like really, like I need to like go away
Yeah.
and then I can kind of face it. I wonder if that's healthy or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because as a kid, if I got too emotional or too upset, I would get sent to my room.
Okay.
I'm sitting with my hands like this.
And
I would
essentially,
get sent to my room and be told to like come back out when you're like being reasonable
okay.
and like not upset.
Right.
So I guess like I also went to my room and had to figure it out, but like I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't be like alone with my thoughts and like get over it.
Wow. I feel like I can. I feel like it's the only way for me to.
Wow.
Like Sam and I could be arguing for literally an hour back and forth because we're both in defense mode, very stubborn.
yeah.
And if I walk away for 5 minutes, I can be like, okay, like I can realize where I was wrong. I go back in scenario being like, okay, blah, blah, blah. He's also the same, which he doesn't realize. An argument.
Interesting.
But do you know what's interesting too? When I was young, I would go to my room Like it's like when I get angry, this rage feels inside me and I have to leave. Or like I'm actually like scared of what I'll say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And apparently, I didn't know this until recently, but my dad told me, he was like, yeah, you used to go into your room and like you'd like shut the door and we would like, him and my mum would come and like listen sometimes because I would talk about my emotions to myself.
So maybe you are an outward processor.
Yeah. But I would be like, oh, I just feel like this and I didn't mean it when I said, like, I would talk.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I wasn't talking to anyone. I was just
Dead.
like,
Not your parents, just like, ooh.
What is she thinking? And then I come out and be like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then be like, it's okay. Wow. But I think I like to a certain extent do that now, but I'm like talking to my mum. I feel like that's what I do.
Okay.
Now I'm like, oh, like, it just helps.
Yeah.
But it also makes me cry, which is actually really good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I need to cry when I'm like mad.
We actually realised the other day that we have never cried in front of each other.
No. Which is fascinating.
Which doesn't surprise me on my behalf.
Yes.
Because I refuse to cry in front of anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone at all. Like, I think it's so embarrassing.
That's so interesting.
Anyone crying to me? So valid. Me crying? Not allowed.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Even the other night, I was with some friends and everyone around me was crying. And I shed a tear and I was like, oh. Joshua, how dare you? This literally isn't about you.
Wow. That's so interesting.
I don't let myself feel emotions.
Yeah, cool. In front of people.
Yeah.
I don't think I purposely try and not show emotions in front of people. I feel like I used to, actually, for years after Mum passed. Numb. Like, I would watch a movie and all of my friends would be crying and I'd literally not even feel sad. Or like, I'd feel sad, but like nothing would.
Fair enough.
Like, in my body, I couldn't feel it.
Yeah.
And then
but it's also like when you go through something that ridiculously fucked.
Like, surely your body's natural response.
Nothing else would be as hard. Do you know what I mean?
That's very true. Do you think you're an empath?
Explain an empath.
I think, I could be wrong, but I think an empath is when you like feel other people's emotions so much. Like if someone else is crying, like you will be crying, or like if you see a news article, like if someone's had, like it will affect you so much.
Yeah, I would say like most of the time.
Yeah, interesting.
I am.
I don't think I am.
Nice.
Which I'm like, is that make me a bad person?
No.
Like I'm just like, like your stuff doesn't affect me. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's extremely healthy and good. Because you're right.
Like, do you find when you're having a conversation with someone and it's heavy, it affects you?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Like, I will feel heavy for the next few days.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Like, I have a friend who I love dearly, but all of our chats, and ever since we met, have been so deep.
Wow.
And I will talk about this more in, like, another episode. But, like, leaving the church, religion, sexuality, it's been a whole thing. I didn't talk about it or feel anything. And then I started outwardly processing it. And every time I hang out with her, I feel so heavy. But like also because it's heavy stuff and like that feeling will get easier with time, I would just like feel heavy in my chest for like days.
Wow.
Or if I like cried to a friend, I would probably feel like that too. Which is why I avoid it at all costs.
When you open up to someone and like really, you know, cry, you don't feel lighter afterward? You feel heavier?
I don't cry.
In front of people. But when you talk about something with someone,
yeah, it's like
you don't feel lighter? In
like the grand scheme of things, I feel lighter.
Okay.
But not for the few days after.
Okay. Because, for example, turning this right back onto me.
No, please do.
We always do this when we're having a conversation. We're like,
anyway, back to me.
Right onto me. But then we had a realization that like that's just how a conversation works.
Yeah, good healthy conversation.
Yeah, there is back and forth.
Yeah.
The other day when I got my period, I was in really, really excruciating pain on the floor of my bathroom, naked, sweating profusely.
I'm not laughing.
Wait, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And I felt so heavy after that. And then I chatted to you and Lang about it. And I just felt so light after it.
Yeah.
I was like, life's not as deep after you've like shared your experience with someone else.
100%.
And so like, would you feel like...
I think it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know how to articulate my words properly, but like, because these feelings I've been like suppressing literally my whole life.
Yeah.
It's not going to take like a couple sitting down chatting with people to like get over it.
Gotcha. It's like so deep down.
It's deep rooted.
It's not on the surface that can just be like,
lighter.
Yeah.
It's just like almost when I talk about it, it's like, it reminds me how hectic it is.
Makes it
Do you know
real.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And makes it almost feel bigger.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, like weeks later, be like, oh,
how.
Yeah, it'll be like
Yeah.
easy to talk about, or I can talk to a different person about it and it won't feel as hectic.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I really do. I don't know how I get into any of these places.
No, I don't either, but I kind of love it.
Me too. I feel like a little mermaid.
So our friend Lang has this theory that we've taken on board.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lang.
Shout
That
out.
we believe that everyone is either a mermaid, a fairy, or a horse.
And none of these are bad.
No. And there's no explanation.
None.
Explanation. Why did I say that? There's no like reason
No.
why you are who you are.
And sometimes you'll be feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like, I'm kind of giving huge mermaid today.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, oh, she's given fairy.
Yeah.
She's giving horse.
But to your core, you are a fairy.
Thank you.
And to my core, I am a mermaid.
Yes.
And I won't take any arguments with it.
No.
Because it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And it's a really fun game to play.
It really
You're
is.
just out and about and you're just like...
Yeah, you're like fairy.
Yeah.
Mermaid, horse.
And also, like, obviously we're very similar and we think the same thing often, but we hardly disagree with it.
No. And sometimes you can't even explain it.
Yeah.
Like you're not like, because of this, you're just like, fairy. And you're like,
Yeah.
yes.
I completely agree.
Like, yeah.
yeah.
It's a very fun game.
It's so fun. I would recommend.
It's kind of
for
like the frog
friends.
and rat.
Yeah, but a bit more fun.
Kind of rude. Because like, who wants to be a rat?
But who wants to be a frog?
I'd prefer to be a frog.
That's
Because I'm a
just
rat.
because you're a rat.
Yeah.
Isn't it so weird that the internet brought us together?
Literally. Most of my close friends today, the internet has brought me.
Literally. And I also think this
Just
is why I
wild.
don't believe in soulmates.
Tell me.
Because, or at least just like one soulmate. I feel like everyone is meant to have a few.
Yeah, me too.
Like the chances of us, I don't know. I want to say the chances of us meeting are low, but also like
We're
the
both in the
Australian
same-
YouTube
yeah.
community, like I guess is small.
Yeah.
But still, like the chances of us like having the courage to like message each other and like actually hang out.
But also to start YouTube channels in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if I didn't, we would have never met.
And it's also
Huh?
like to think I lived so many years without you. But I'm like, I'm probably living so many years now without someone who I'm going to meet in the future
Yes.
who is literally going to feel like a soulmate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
it's so strange.
So interesting. No, I fully believe that we have more than one soulmate. Absolutely. Like romantically and friendship wise
Yeah.
and everything wise. Like there's just some people who you just have this like thing, this connection with.
Yeah.
That like nothing will, as much as you could spend so much time with this other person and it'll never feel like that.
Yeah. I really had a thought and I've just lost
Sorry,
it.
I interrupted you.
Oh,
I
no.
saw it. I saw you
Oh.
go and then I went,
No. Oh, I saw your TikTok.
okay.
Take a shot every time I say TikTok.
Maybe we should do this drunk
Oh my
sometime.
god. We are so annoying drunk.
Yeah, true. Maybe
But
not.
I've only been drunk together. I'm so much closer to the microphone than you are.
Really?
I saw this TikTok that was saying that the only close, really, really soulmatey love, love that I've experienced in this life so far has been my female friends. And like everything I've learned about love has come from my female friendships.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh,
That's actually really
sweet.
wholesome. Yeah.
Because obviously there's like a difference between your romantic partner and then like
friendships
friends
and then also like family love. Like
yeah. I'm just like, oh, it's so sweet.
it is.
Like females are just the best.
oh, how I love being a
Oh,
woman.
I love it. And like the bonds that female friends have, I feel like are so much stronger
Than male friendships?
Yeah, or like people would just like think,
Yes,
You know?
I very much agree.
which makes friendship breakups so much harder.
No, but to be fair,
I
I
don't
never.
think people give them enough credit.
No, me neither. I think it's actual heartbreak.
Yeah.
Like I truly do. I think you like grieve friendships and they're like breakups. Just to be fair, I've never been through like a really bad breakup
neither.
before. So maybe
So maybe we're literally talking smack.
But I feel like even I've heard people say who have been through a really bad breakup that friendship breakups are very, very hard and just as hard
Yeah.
as a relationship breakup. And I think that part of the reason why is that when you're in a relationship with someone, there's always the like, almost like a hanging over like, oh, like this might not last.
Yeah.
Like you kind of expect there to be multiple romantic relationships in your life, but friends, you think are going to be there to get forever.
Yeah.
Like if you ever
You're
left me,
like,
absolutely
oh,
not.
I won't be friends with her.
Exactly.
Maybe like I could just not be in her life in a year or so.
Say if we stopped being friends, I'd be like,
Which won't be happening. But yes.
which you'll never be leaving me, thank you very much. Which I would be absolutely heartbroken because I was just like, I see you in my life for the rest of my life. And as much as I see Sam in my life for the rest of my life, I'm not saying this heartbreak would be any less, and like not to devalue that, but I'd almost be like, oh, well, like, you know, romantic relationships end like a lot of the time, but friendships, I'm like they're not supposed to end.
No, literally.
I don't know. Like you never walk into a friendship being like, this could end.
Yeah.
But you kind of walk into romantic relationships being like, this could end.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It really does make sense.
Thank you.
Which is really sad.
It really is. And that's why adult friendships
Are so hard.
are crazy. And why did I not know?
No, literally.
Entering my 20s, blissful life, friends.
I have so many friends around me.
Yeah. And then you get 3-4 years in, you're like, what?
Yeah. Even like talking to Lang, who, as I mentioned, is 30.
Yeah.
Hi,
I hope she's
Lang.
okay
Thanks
with
for
us
watching.
sharing her age.
I've been holding my toes this whole time just in case they're in shot.
Mine are
But they're
covered.
not. I was complaining to Lang about being 25 this year. I was like, oh, it just feels so old. And she was like, I think that being 25 is such a fun age because being in your early 20s is like so rough because you're experiencing so many things for the first time. You're learning how to rent, you're losing friends, you're getting a new job, you're going to uni. Like there's so many different things. And then you're 25 and it almost feels like you have a really secure, concrete group of people around you.
Yeah.
You kind of know the direction you're heading. You have adult money that you can spend on things that you want to. And like life just looks up at 25. And I was just like, yeah.
She's done it again.
I'm excited to be 25
Yeah.
in a few months.
25 is so exciting.
Yeah.
Isn't it also crazy though? Like when you graduate, you're like 25.
Yes, feels so far away.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we're just here.
I'm getting
I hope this
self-conscious
sounds
of my own
good.
voice. Yeah, imagine if this is
Sounds
bad.
so bad.
No. It's our first
Well,
one.
bear with us.
Bear with us.
Anyway.
I wonder how long this has been going for.
But I'm excited to film more of these and just like
me too.
have a space to just like chat about anything and everything.
And anything that's like coming up that week, that's like, oh, I'm really just like thinking about this. We'll just chat
Yeah.
about that. I don't know. I'm really excited.
I'm excited too.
And I know this today's been a bit like here, there, everywhere.
Yeah.
But like also kind of love that.
But it's kind of just what it's meant to be.
Yeah,
Like,
we're not
I'm-
trying to structure it. We're not trying to make it anything professional.
No.
It might look professional because we've got microphones.
Yeah, we're just trying to make the audio good. But
Yeah.
like the stuff we're saying, literally the most useless thing you've ever heard.
Literally never. Don't
Like
listen.
this is what I love to listen. Whoa.
Oh, no,
Well, this is what I love to listen to. So that's what I'm going to create.
Exactly.
And I'm having fun.
Me too.
That's all that matters. Okay, well, big love. Thanks for listening. Hope we got you through a walk or a drive or
Or anything. Cleaning.
anything cleaning.
If you've gotten to this point, like,
Yeah.
I feel really
You're
close.
a real one.
I feel close.
We are best friends.
Yeah. Plan to do these every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Alternating on your channel, my channel, your channel, my channel. So keep a lookout.
Yeah, keep an eye out.
I felt a bit dicky saying that. Keep a lookout. Like literally don't. Like literally do what you want.
But like do.
Alright.
Okay. Love ya.
Love ya. Bye.